On the evening of Friday, March 22, 2024, at least 4 armed men, who would later be arrested and identified as members of ISIS-K, a terrorist group active mainly in Afghanistan and affiliated with ISIS, carried out an attack in a theater, the Crocus City Hall in Moscow, located in the northwestern outskirts of the Russian capital. Let's start by recounting the dynamics of the attack based on the information we have, trying to clarify but also considering other hypotheses and scenarios. But why did the terrorists attack Russia? Is Ukraine involved as Putin claims? ISIS-K has claimed responsibility for the attack on multiple occasions through the propaganda news agency Hammock, also disseminating videos of the attack. After killing the guards at the theater entrance, the terrorist commando infiltrated the building, which was crowded with people attending a rock concert and using automatic and bladed weapons. They killed 139 people and caused over 100 injuries. Unfortunately, this figure may worsen in the coming hours and days. The attackers also started a fire in the theater. 11 suspects have already been apprehended, including 4 alleged attackers, all of whom are from Tajikistan and aged between 19 and 32. These 4 individuals have been charged with terrorist acts, a crime punishable by life imprisonment, and will be held in custody by Russian law enforcement. Based on some videos circulating online, the 4 men appear to have been tortured, given the presence of numerous bruises and visible wounds. According to information released by Russia, some of the 4 alleged terrorists have already confessed and claimed to have been hired in exchange for money. They were also reportedly captured while heading towards the border with Belarus and Ukraine. This information has led Russian President Putin to speak of Ukrainian involvement in the attack, leading to an increase in Russian missile attacks on Ukrainian territory. According to the U.S. ambassador to Kiev, these attacks are also occurring with the use of hypersonic missiles. Ukraine and the United States have immediately denied the possibility of Kiev's involvement in the attacks. Notably, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow had publicly warned on March 7, 2024, a couple of weeks ago, that U.S. intelligence believed extremist attacks were possible in Russia, especially in Moscow. However, President Putin had dismissed the issue as Western propaganda. Italy itself had also warned its nationals in Russia to avoid events or places with many people for several weeks. In summary, this is the chronicle of what happened. As of now, investigations are still ongoing, so there may be new and continuous developments. ISIS-K is a specific armed group of Sunni Islamic extremists founded between late 2014 and early 2015 in the border area between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Since then, the terrorist group has affiliated with ISIS and initiated a series of operations, including various attacks. 2 of the most well-known in the West are a suicide attack carried out at Kabul airport on August 26, 2021, during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, which resulted in 183 casualties, including 13 Americans, and probably, although not yet confirmed 100%, 2 suicide attacks in Iran on January 3, 2024. During the anniversary celebration of the assassination of Iranian General Soleimani, who was killed by the United States under the Trump administration but was hated by ISIS for his role in defeating the terrorist organization in Syria and Iraq. The K in ISIS-K's name indicates a geographical region, Khorasan, a historical area of Asia that roughly includes some parts of Iran, Afghanistan, and Turkmenistan, and to a lesser extent, Pakistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. ISIS-K aims to gain control of Khorasan and create a caliphate based on Sharia law, Islamic law, to be expanded beyond the region's borders. In this process, the armed group is also fighting against the Taliban regime in Afghanistan and against the official Pakistani armed forces. Why did ISIS-K attack Moscow? Considering what ISIS-K is and its goal, we can formulate hypotheses that may have driven the terrorists to carry out the theater attack. All of this goes beyond purely economic issues. These 3 hypotheses can easily be interconnected. Firstly, it should be noted that in recent months, ISIS-K had made some anti-Russian statements, even calling Putin an enemy and a murderer of Muslims due to Moscow's military interventions in Afghanistan, Chechnya, and Syria. Particularly in the Syrian war, Russia was one of the main architects of ISIS's defeat and subsequent significant downsizing. Additionally, in early March, the armed forces of Ingushetia, one of the federal subjects of Russia, eliminated 6 ISIS members. Therefore, the theater attack in Moscow could be seen as revenge for this long series of interventions. Secondly, a strand of radical Islamist thought believes it is opportune to foment conflicts between non-Muslim states or forces in opposition to each other. This is because it could further weaken them and thus facilitate the expansion and spread of Islam within them. The attack on the Moscow theater could have been a way to further destabilize the Russo-Ukrainian war framework. Lastly, a dramatic act could serve ISIS-K to strengthen itself as a group, both internally, perhaps attracting new followers, and locally and internationally, making itself more seriously considered as a solid entity capable of impactful actions. Did Ukraine support or finance the terrorists? Or could it have been Russia itself provoking the attack to then blame Ukraine and the West and seek revenge? Various theories are circulating in the media. Anything is possible, but those disseminating information must rely on the certain data available to them. So, let's analyze the effects of the attack on Russia and Ukraine. The attack, in summary, on one hand, undermines Putin's strongman image, his guarantee of being able to ensure the security of his country and its citizens. On the other hand, it offers the Russian leader the opportunity to exploit the incident by blaming Ukraine to increase his military action against Kiev. Faced with an event that affects his country and his image, he seeks to exploit the episode for his own benefit to gain advantages in the war he is conducting and in terms of propaganda. Notably, as some investigations like the Insiders have already revealed, various bot attacks from Kremlin-linked sites are flooding Western and Italian social networks with fake news about the attack. Thousands of fake profiles are sharing links to fake articles blaming Ukraine, the USA, and the UK for the attack. So, be cautious. However, as we mentioned earlier, the attack on Russia and Ukraine has a double effect, both positive and negative, but with very uncertain outcomes. It is difficult to imagine that either country would have risked committing such an attack, especially against civilians. We take this opportunity to express our condolences to the victims, regardless of their nationality. Keep an open mind and consider all possible hypotheses. If there are any developments, we will return to the topic. Thank you for following us, and we'll see you with the next video, always here on Focus Universe. Goodbye.